Egyptian committee in Amman. Alongside his Jordanian counterpart, the committee witnesses the signing of a number of agreements and memorandum of understandings in several fields and different fields like health planning, media, insurance, also vocational training and also social affairs. And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Mr. Abdel Rahman, writer and political analyst. Good afternoon, sir.
Well, good afternoon to you. Hello to the dear viewers.
Thank you so much. Mr. Abdel Rahman, how do you see the importance of this meeting that took place between the Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and his Jordanian counterpart, during which a memorandum of understandings were signed?
Well, this is a very important step, of course, in the march of the Jordanian-Egyptian relations. That's historical.
Yes.
Relations goes for decades and even hundreds of years. We're talking about two nations are sharing the same concerns, sharing the same hopes, and of course, this higher committee, the higher Jordanian-Egyptian committee, is crowning a very strong effort accomplished by Mr. Abdel Sisi, the president of Egypt, and King Abdullah Thani, King of Jordan, that of course went into a new decade, leveled up to a new era of strong relations between the two nations and Egypt, between Egypt and Jordan. We have too much in common. We have relations between Egypt and Jordan are very significant in the time being. Facing the more conflicts all around us in the Arabic region and in the Middle East and the Arabic East, the relations between Egypt and Jordan are very important as a buffer to face the conflicts in Gulf area. And of course, we have the Palestinian file against the Zionist existence, and of course the Syrian file, which we can remember today that Syria was under attack, terroristic attack by the Zionist army, and of course too much of files to be discussed between the two leaderships. Of course, we can discuss the effort accomplished by Egypt to try to gather all the leaders of the Palestinian factions. Of course, we remember that summit held in New Alamein between the Palestinian factions led by Mr. President Abdel Sisi before 2 weeks before, and of course, right afterwards, some regional powers in the Middle East or the Arabic East tried to spoil what we have accomplished through this summit by fabricating a conflict between the factions in Ain al-Halwa. And of course, that was masterminded by powers that trying to create a false leadership for itself on behalf of Egypt. This is not going to happen. Too much to discuss between Mr. Prime Minister and his counterpart in Jordan today. And of course, it's a very significant move, I believe, and I expect there are several moves. And this meeting is preparing for a higher step and more actions in the common relations, and of course dealing with the conflicts all around us.
Yes, Mr. Abdel Rahman, the trade and investment between Egypt and Jordan have reached 1 billion Egyptian pounds by the end of the year 2022. Could you give us an idea about the importance of this, please?
We are growing and expanding the horizon of investment, the Jordanian investment in Egypt, of course, with cooperation with industry men in Jordan, And of course, we have on the other hand, so much to export to Jordan. This common trade can build a very strong bridge of relations between the two nations by dealing in the field of commerce, field of technology, field of media, field of even the modern investments and industries like green hydrogen and other sort of projects.
Yes, okay. So, Mr. Abdurrahman, also the signing of agreements, we've mentioned also the issues and the main topics that was included inside the committee meeting agenda, which is in the fields of health, planning, media, insurance, and social affairs. How do you view this?
Of course, those details are very important to be discussed between Mr. Prime Minister and his counterpart to develop all sorts of relations between the two countries and the two nations. When we take developing the relations between two countries into the level of the public sector and the governmental sector, and in the common working together to enhance and to expand the cooperation between the two nations. Only this way we can make it last, make it permanent for a longer time. This is how two nations, two neighbors, two brothers nations can build their own future and careers.
Yes, Mr. Abdurrahman, also, how do you see the importance of enhancing the joint cooperation in the natural gas industry and green hydrogen technology between Egypt and Jordan?
This is the main topic can be discussed in this summit, especially in the field of commerce and common industries. We have a very strong and deep relations in this field. In gas projects with Jordan, we are partners for decades now. And cooperation and coordinating this cooperation between the two countries can make it safe and make it guaranteed for the two nations that they can take a united steps and united situation toward the conflicts of gas and the fortunes and the treasures in the Mediterranean. And of course, we have this conflict and those opponents, whether the Tunis existence, whether Turkey, whether other countries. We need to unify our positions, unify our stand to preserve our own rights in the Mediterranean, and of course for the very best future for the two nations.
Yes, so Mr. Abdurrahman, also how would you see the visit, the importance of this meeting in order to help pushing forward boosting the tourism between Egypt and Jordan?
Of course, we welcome the Jordanian people. They are our friends, and they live here in Egypt as partners in our country. They are, of course, the tourism, the Jordanian tourism in Egypt is a very important part and a very important mainstream for the balance, the trade balance between Egypt and Jordan that already reached more than 1 billion Egyptian pounds by the end of the last year, and we expect more. And we have the opportunity to, and we have the qualifications for this tourism.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information, Mr. Amr Abdurrahman, the writer, journalist, and political analyst. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the end of this episode of the Cairo Local Time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. I thank you for watching, but before we end our episode, I leave you with the following report as an archaeological mission from the the Department of the Sunken Antiquities at the Supreme Council of Antiquities in Egypt have discovered the remains of a sunken ship from the 3rd century BC in a site in the Mediterranean Sea, around 650 meters from the beach of El Alamein. Alongside it is various ancient jars. The Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities announced that the new discovery was made during the mission's digging and diving and in the place. We have more in the following report.
An archaeological mission from the Central Department of Antiquities and the Supreme Council of Antiquities in Egypt has discovered the remains of a sunken ship from the 3rd century BC in a site at the Mediterranean Sea, roughly 650 meters from the beach of Al Alamein, alongside various ancient jars. The Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities announced that the new discovery was made during the mission's